Northwest Missouri State coming up on Saturday. What a great opportunity for your guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're playing well, but we're far from where we need to be to feel comfortable going into a game like this. We're cautiously optimistic. We've worked hard all week. We've had a whole week prep. Certainly interesting with finals and everything else going on, but we just got to play every possession, and it's a great opportunity ahead of us. We were able to take them down twice last year, but we lost quite a bit in Trey and Jamari, and they lost some in Hudgens. I think we both kind of parallel each other in the fact that for both teams the ball moves a lot more than it did last year. Northwest is just they're guarding at an elite level. They're playing together. They bring back everybody besides Hudgens, and we're going to have to really be ready to play.
Coach, I guess first of all, how have you seen, the transfers, acclimate to MIAA play with the first couple games you've had done so far?
Yeah, it's a good question, and obviously Owen Long has done a pretty good job. Elijah had a solid second half at Washburn, struggled against Rogers and at Northeastern State. Atavian's been struggling, so we've seen some struggles from the transfers in comparison to non-conference play, where we did play a quality schedule of local Division IIs, if you will. The GLVC conference, we played 3 games versus them. The GAC conference, we played 2 games versus them. A little bit different beast than our league. I think our guys are feeling it a little bit in terms of just the athleticism, the preparedness, the size, and just the overall pace of play. So, I think the adjustments haven't been as fast as we'd like to across the board with our transfers, but it's been enough to to go 2-1 so far with going on the road. I mean, again, we've played 6 Division II road games this year, won 5 of them. So again, it hasn't been easy, but we found ways to do it, and our defense anchors a lot of that.
How excited are you to be at home to start the conference portion of your schedule coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we started off with 3 road games and the number 1 team in the country, right? I mean, who picked this damn schedule? It came from someplace, somebody picked it somewhere, and it's just a lot of it's luck of the draw. And now we like how we finished the last 6 games of the year, but it's a challenge. But it's a challenge that we look forward to. It's a challenge we've been talking about all year long. It's not like this just got thrown upon us. We've known this was going to be the path, since it was released about 6 months ago. We knew it'd be something that would show us where we're at this point in the season, and we've answered the call for the most part, but we still have a long ways to go.
How, is there any extra level of excitement being 2 ranked teams for the first time, thanks to Suggest 7 coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it doesn't matter if the NABC says we're ranked this or we're ranked that. I mean, the different polls have us in the top 10. Other polls have us in the teens, in the close spot where so it doesn't really matter where the NABC says we are. We want to focus and compete in every single game. Is there added excitement because it's defending national champions? Is there added excitement because we accomplished it last year in terms of head-to-head matchup? Maybe, but there's plenty of challenges that come along with that too, and we're just trying to take it a day at a time. Mike Leach, I'd watched one of his videos in the locker room after, rest in peace. Obviously, he passed away of a heart condition, and he had said after they won the game over a ranked opponent, we didn't just beat them today on Saturday. We beat them all week long. That's how you win on Saturday. And I thought that was pretty powerful, and we've kind of tried to pass that message along to our guys that if you want a chance on Saturday to win, it all comes down to what we do this week. And I think our guys have taken it serious, and they're working hard.
I guess to that point, is there anything you do differently when you know you're going up against the number 1 team defending national champions, or is it just kind of what you tried?
I don't think we do anything differently. It's the same prep. It's the same amount of work. I mean, in the past, 2-3 years ago, I think we'd over-prepare. I think there were times when we would watch too much film and get our guys just so mentally out of it. We just got to be who we are, and we'll make the similar scout adjustments that we would against any other opponent. We are geared and built to match up against these guys, whereas we struggle versus more lumbering bigs, such as Andrew Orr, who had 18 and 10 against us, and Joey Sirocco for Rogers, who had 19 and 10 against us. Northwest doesn't bring that component to the table with a back-to-the-basket big. They bring other challenges, and plenty of them, but we like how we match up in that, and it's just going to be an execution thing. Ben's a really good coach. I can't imagine he's going to show all his cards here. We expect to play these guys at least 3 times, if not 4 times this year. So I think both teams will be really who they are at White Auditorium this Saturday, and it's going to come down to execution.
Lady?
So you kind of had Northwest's number recently, and last year the guys were saying that the scout was just so thorough that there wasn't much that they weren't expecting on the court. Just how do you watch Northwest and make sure that your scout is thorough enough for these guys to understand?
I think it started with recruiting. When we built our switching man defense, it was to compete against them. Of course, then it doesn't matter how you build it. You can be good against Northwest, but then struggle against other teams because your strength is going to be your weakness against others. So I think we naturally flow into defending them. But again, we really don't want to put the cart before the horse here. They're so good. They're so talented. We have so many new guys playing. While we have 9 guys back from last year's roster, 4 of the guys who are playing a ton of our minutes are brand new. So there's going to be a curve here. Whereas last year, Jamari Turner had played Northwest 6 times. Trey with his experience and just coming in here, and then all the other guys who had already been in the program. So I just feel like we'll be prepared coming in, but then it's going to come down to, hey, there's going to be how many people in the stands? Are people going to shell up and get nervous? These type of things that you don't expect to happen. But it's also the first time we're playing a high level when you're talking national ranking opponent this year. So there's a lot of unknowns. So we're just trying to take it one practice, one day, one possession at a time.
And does the fact that Northwest has so many returning players, does that help you guys prepare for this week since you've seen a lot of them already?
It's a good question. I think it helps them more than it helps us just because they have so much continuity together. McCollum has done such a good job. He's going to show you what he's going to do offensively, and everybody knows what they're going to do, and they still kick your ass. And they do that every single time. So, a lot of systems are in place, and once one team figures it out, other teams will guard it similarly. But, it's going to be a huge challenge. Again, we're prepared for that, or we're excited for it. At least the coaching staff isn't. I feel like a lot of the players are. We just haven't had the consistency offensively so far this year for us to walk into this game feeling great about it. But at the same time, we like going into this challenge, and we feel like it's a great measuring stick for where we're at as we continue to grow as a team.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Thank you.
Katie?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you, Katie?
Pretty good. So when you guys are playing, number 1 team in the country like this, does that kind of light an extra fire under your guys? And have you noticed in practice this week?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think in practice they're extra focused on it. There's always talks with this team, as much as they love Trey and Jamari. There's talks of being able to do things that weren't able to be done last year. But they know that this head-to-head matchup was successful for us last year. So the last thing this group wants to do is take a step back. There's always a measuring stick. Everybody has to find anything to make things competitive, right? I think Michael Jordan used to say he used to make things up that somebody would say bad about them just so he would be upset going into the game. So these guys try to pick apart all these little different things to help motivate them. And part of it is trying to do things that haven't been accomplished here. Along that way, you have to continue to do the things that we've had success with. And again, it's going to be a big challenge. I mean, we beat them by 19 on our home court last year. And if our guys have any inclination or thought that they're going to come in and lay down and allow that to happen again, they're crazy. Now, we're pressing that upon them, but what gets absorbed, we're expecting a dogfight, a battle, and we're looking forward to it.
Cool. That's it for me. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, well, Mayuom, you guys get Northwest Missouri State on Saturday. What's the mentality you guys need to take into this game?
Just be ourselves. Past couple of games we've been kind of, out of our, natural selves. So we're trying to get back to that, and we got a big opportunity this Saturday. So we've been working on this week, just getting back to our things that led us out to a great start. So we're just getting back to ourselves.
As you look at this team now, 8-1 on the season, do you feel like you guys have your identity developed yet, or are you still working on that?
I feel like one of our identities is, defense. And I feel like that was a good identity that I had for us early in the season. And I feel like our balance is one of our identities too, so we're trying to get back to that as well. So I feel like defense is one of them, but our other ones are still coming out.
Is there any, do you take practice any differently when you go up against the number one team in the country? Do you just try to take things like it's another game?
We respect every opponent, so it wasn't really this week wasn't really any different. Just preparing for another conference opponent. Every game is going to be tough, especially now that conference players around. So I feel like it was just another week for us, and we're still respecting everybody.
How excited are you now to be at home after the first couple games on the road for the conference play, to be home now?
It's really exciting. I always love playing out white. So it's just nice getting back there, and also nice that the number one team in the country is going to play us at our home court. So that's really nice too.
I know it's a different team on both sides. From last year you beat them twice. Can you pull anything from those games going into this weekend, or do you treat this like a different game?
Well, the thing about Northwest, you kind of have to play almost perfect because they play almost perfect as well. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things that we need to do this weekend. It's pretty much just limit our mistakes and just be ourselves. Thank you.
Wayne.
Hey, Mayuom, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So you have a lot of experience against Northwest. You guys beat them last year. Just what are you looking forward to about this game, and what are you expecting to see this weekend?
I'm looking forward to our guys knowing what it's like to play against a top dog. They've been winning the past couple of national titles, so I'm excited for them, and also expecting to see us play really hard. Also, I'm excited to see them play really hard too because we beat them twice last year. So they probably had us circled on the schedule for a while now. So I'm excited for that.
And does the fact that they have a bunch of returning players help you guys prepare for them, knowing that you've already played against them a lot?
It does. It helps us. Let the other guys know what it's like playing Northwest, and it helps them. Understand the opponent a little better.
And last year, when you guys beat Northwest, everyone was saying that the scout was just so thorough and there wasn't much on the court happening that you weren't expecting. Is the scout this week just going really well too, and are you guys covering a lot of bases?
Yeah, it's going really well. Like I said, it's another week for us. We're still respecting everybody, so I feel like we're doing a good job just paying attention to detail and focusing pretty well on practice. So I feel like we're doing a good job at that.
Cool, thanks.
Yep.
Katie.
Hey, Mayuom, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. So obviously you guys are going into this top-ranked matchup. Is there any kind of a different feeling amongst the team as you guys prepare for a game like this?
Like I said, we respect every opponent. It's a conference opponent. It's always going to be tough, but it's the number one team in the country. So there's a little bit of a different feeling that's been going on this week, and we're all excited to get that opportunity, especially at our home court.
And does a top-ranked matchup like this, kind of this early in the season, is that a little bit of a shift in momentum for you guys?
Yeah, it kind of is. Best team in the country. They get to come play us. So I feel like that's really important for us, just to be able to get somebody that early in the season to see where we stand, because we get to play them again later in the year. So it's nice knowing that we get to play them and then learn a lot about ourselves.
Cool. That's it for me. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Mayuom.
Thank you,
Good luck
guys.
Saturday.